Is your workout plan really set up for what you want? A lot of people still think that exercise automatically will lead to fat loss. You know, the old eat less, exercise more model. But here's the truth. The real driver of sustained fat loss isn't how much you sweat in the gym. It's building muscle, boosting your metabolism, and then pairing it with a smart nutrition plan. Hi, I'm Janet, healthy longevity advocate, fitness coach, and today I am going to compare fat loss focused workouts with strength training and muscle building programs to show you how you might rethink training only for fat loss and what actually works instead. Let's start by looking at the classic fat loss workout plan. These are usually built around lots of cardio, boot camp style circuits, and high intensity classes. I mean, this approach makes sense at first anyway, because you burn a ton of calories, you sweat buckets, and you leave feeling that satisfying feeling that you worked really hard. There are benefits to this approach. I mean, this style of exercise can create a calorie deficit short term while the exercise is happening, and they build momentum. They also sometimes can be really useful in that they get people moving, especially at the beginning. But here's the problem. When you train with only fat loss in mind, then you're not giving any priority to strength or building muscle. They're kind of at the opposite end of the spectrum on the approach that you take. That high intensity cardio heavy approach can actually cost you muscle so that you burn some fat and some muscle, which slows down your basal metabolism and makes it harder to lose fat. Do you see what I mean? So, cardio, your body adapts very quickly. Anybody who's followed a cardio plan knows that after a few weeks, you need to go faster, higher, or longer in order to get the same benefit from your effort. And that's why plateaus hit so hard. So you're on a plateau, you're working harder and harder and harder. And what then? More time, more intensity, and before long, burnout, or worse, injury. Talk about coming to a standstill. Despite all that sweat, and you come to a halt, and finally, a fat loss only mindset often feels like punishment to people who tend to be a little bit standoffish about a regular exercise program. It's punishment, it's boring, it's repetitive, it's like something Irma Bombeck used to say, like with housework, it's stringing pearls on a string with no knot on the other end. I think that's a great metaphor. So that can be where the scale stops moving, and that's when people give up. We don't want that. We want sustainability. So let's look at a comparison here. Let's compare that to a strength-focused plan. Strength training is built around progressive overload, lifting heavier over time. It's not about sweating more. It's about getting stronger. The upside, strength training boosts your resting metabolism. That's the kind that burns hotter even when you're sitting on the couch. Cardio only gives you a boost while you're in motion. See the difference? It's like a longer, more sustained payout. Strength training also builds resilience, protects your joints so that you don't get injured, because muscle tissue takes more calories to keep on your body than fat. Fat is a very slow burning, as we know, tissue. Muscle takes a lot of calories to hold and keep, and just a little too much intensity and it will just leave because there's not enough calories left in your body to make your muscle stay around. It's like higher rent real estate. And here's the other downside. If you are married to your bathroom scale and are constantly, almost obsessively weighing, when you do strength training, the number doesn't drop as fast as starvation, losing water, going on a fast, doing a ton of cardio. At first will burn a lot, and so you get that satisfying drop. With strength training, it's kind of just very gradual. But here's the truth. The fat is coming off and the muscle is coming on, and your body composition shifts. But instead of just being saggy and loose, you have nice muscles underneath your skin for your skin to land on when the fat goes away. And you have a new source of motivation. Not only do you look better in the mirror, you're stronger. And then the number on the scale, it just doesn't matter as much. And you start to get this new perspective. It's not that number. It's my clothing. It's how I look and how strong I feel. So that's strength training. Now, hypertrophy training, specifically angling toward building muscle, is even more strategic toward that end of having muscle tone and a little bit of size and shape as the fat comes off. This usually means moderate weight, more sets and reps, and training a muscle group enough volume, enough reps, time under tension to actually grow. It's similar to strength training, but just a slight focus on what the goal is. And I am reporting from the field here. The benefits are huge. Even now that I'm almost 70 years old, I am so much stronger and fit in my clothes so much better than when I was 45. It's ridiculous. People who haven't seen me for years are like, "What are you doing?" And they mean that in a good way. So I have a higher resting metabolism, better shape and definition, and stronger long-term fat support. So bye-bye to the yo-yo effect of losing and gaining and losing and gaining. Everything happens more slowly so that you can turn things around if you start to go a little bit off the rails. So what's the smartest way to structure a fat loss plan? It's not about fat loss only. It's about combining fat loss with muscle retention and metabolic health. Use this superpower that you are handed to build muscle, to drive lasting change. It's so much less stressful when you just go the slow route that stays. That is what future-proofing your body looks like. And here's one example of a practical mix for fat loss. So this is just a template, and you can change this combination, tweak it around so that it fits your lifestyle, your goals, and your desire for how much time you want to put into this. So I recommend 2 to 3 days a week of strength training with big compound lifts like deadlifts and squats. 1 to 2 days a week of hypertrophy training focused just on building muscle, and 1 to 2 days a week of cardio or interval work, not as a foundation as the beginning of your fat loss journey, but as a supplement for heart health and conditioning of your cardiovascular system. And as a side note, I have the hardest time sustaining the cardio part of my regimen because I get so much fat loss results just from lifting weights. However, as I get stronger every time I ramp up, I find that I reach a point in my muscle building training where I know my muscles are strong enough to go heavier, but my cardiovascular system is not so great at supporting it. I get out of breath. I get lightheaded. And that's when I have to go, okay, fine. I'll do my cardio. And after 2 or 3 weeks of being really consistent on that 1 to 2 days a week of VO2 max conditioning cardio, maybe it's the treadmill or the Stairmaster or the stationary bike or the elliptical, all of a sudden, I can go back to that lift and pow, I've got the cardiovascular health behind it. So that is my argument for cardio. I agree. It can be boring. It can be repetitive. Change up the instrument you're using and your approach, and focus on building muscle, because that is the exciting part of all of this. So in all of this, like I said, the benefits are huge. More muscle equals higher resting metabolism, and you have an easier time managing glucose and keeping your fat stores manageable and easy to control. And it supports over a long period of time. The con, the only one I can think of, is that progress can feel slow if all you're looking at is the scale. But visually, in strength and energy, the changes are often dramatic. The side effect of building muscle is that you look leaner, even if the number on the scale barely budges. I had a client who wanted to lose weight, and she weighed like 155. And then she lost fat but gained muscle. She wore 2 sizes less than she did before, and she weighed exactly the same amount of weight. How is that possible? It was hard for her, but I should weigh 145. No, you're a lean 155, and you look absolutely fabulous. So here's the takeaway. The one thing I want you to remember, if you don't remember anything else from my words today, is that fat loss workout plans might make you sweat, but strength and muscle focused plans will transform your body and keep your results long term. I am living proof. So when you train for strength and muscle, fat loss becomes a byproduct along with the bathroom scale. If you found this breakdown helpful, then hit like and subscribe for more tips on strength and healthy aging. And check out my other videos where I show you how to train smart and how to stay strong at any age.